but funny how they were so. Keep it quiet. Good morning. Welcome to A1's live stream.
Good morning.
For Friday, the 23rd of July.
How did the month go by so fast? It just flew by.
It's like the year.
Yeah, it just flew.
I was just thinking about something this morning where I was like, that was probably 5 years ago.
Sorry.
Like if I was thinking about somebody, if I ran into them, that I was like, when was the last time I saw them? And in my head, I was like, God, that was probably 5 years ago. And it feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
So crazy. It will be a relatively brief live stream as Jeannie is in San Diego, safe and sound.
Yay!
Not a ton to announce. It's obviously the giveaway day, so we'll cover some of that stuff. But and do you have any show and tell or anything?
I don't have show and tell. I do have a couple of things I want to talk to them about.
Okay, let's talk about what you want to talk about.
Okay. So the In the Hoop Dumbo class went live on the site. The kits are not quite finished yet. The class is not until August the 9th. The kits aren't quite ready because my printer died. And I've been printing the Dumbo HTV that goes on top of the vinyl. So since I can't print, I only have 4 kits I can complete. So I'm going to go ahead and complete those 4 kits. And if you are on a timeline type thing, let me know. They'll be in the store starting Tuesday, but I'll only have 4 until I get my next, my new printer. There's no hurry. If you're registered for the class, there will be a kit for you, so no worries. And if
Are there still open spots?
I'm not sure. There might be 1 or 2 open spots. I'll check as soon as there was I think 8 or 9 people, 8 people signed up yesterday. I limit that to 10 people, just in case.
We've got 10.
We've got 10? All right, so that one's closed. Yeah? I'm usually in there twice.
Nope, you're only in there
I'm only in there once? Okay, so right now the first one is closed. I'm going to do, please don't worry, I am going to run it again. I bought lots of fabric for this. So I see that I can actually run the In the Hoop one again. Also, I'll be working on this weekend the sewing version, which is not in the hoop at all, no embroidery at all. That's a full sewing pattern of the same thing, but just a sewing one instead of an in the hoop. So, not to worry, and there'll be kits for that one as well. And there will be kits for everyone that signed up. Usually, I have a couple of extra kits. I do that because, just in case someone has a train wreck in the middle of class, I don't want him to feel bad. So I have spare parts from other kits that I can, give them, because I really, my goal is for everyone to come out of class with a finished project. Right now, I have 10 people signed up on the class wait list for Software 101 for the fall. I will be emailing you this week to make sure that you are still interested in that class before that class posts. It'll start sometime mid-September. Working on 102 for some projects. And yeah, and the Clearly Trixie bag that Jeannie showed yesterday, the supply list should be done for that today, and that'll go on the website probably next week when Jeannie gets back. And that is also a sewing only class. And I don't have them in front of me, but that one was really kind of cool, because if you have one of those digital dual feed walking feet that came with your machine, I did 99.9% of the sewing on that entire bag, including the binding, putting the vinyl, all of it on with the digital dual feed. And you know what I found out? The belt on the dual feed works great on top of vinyl. You don't have to switch out to a Teflon foot because it feeds the vinyl.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
you don't even need a Teflon foot. So I actually made a video as I was constructing that, so that'll be in the Facebook group for that group. So that entire, normally I sew bags on my PQ. So that one I did entirely on the Luminaire on the sewing side, so that I knew for sure that it would work on a domestic.
Cool. Very cool. What do you have a time frame in mind for 102 for software?
I'm not
I know
gonna
we've
do-
had a bunch of questions
Yeah,
about
we've had
that.
a bunch of questions, and 102 is not going to be as long. It's not going to be a 10-week session. What I know for sure in 102, we know that there's no upgrade coming for PE design and palette this year, correct?
I don't know.
I haven't heard anything one way or the
Yeah.
other, but there was about 5 different features in Palette and PE Design 11 that we never covered in 101 because they were really kind of not basic beginner. So it will have at least 5 sessions that will cover those 5 things. And they were pretty cool things, like you can create your own background fills, and you can save them, and you can just access them like you would any background fill in software and resize it. So it's really kind of a cool feature. So in essence, you can make whatever background fill pattern you want and save it. And then there was the a couple of other things that we just never got a chance to. So it'll at least have 5. Probably we'll start beginning of October, maybe. Is my goal for that.
So you mentioned something this morning that I thought was interesting because I'm certainly aware that it's there, but I don't think I've ever seen it demoed or even covered. The Stitch Designer on the Brother machines.
Yeah.
Is that on the Luminaire as well?
It is. And that's just one of nobody uses that a lot, but here's where I have used it in the case where somebody says, "Oh, my old machine XYZ did this stitch and it's not on the Brother, or it's on the Brother machine." Well, if I can watch the stitch sew out, or if I can sew it out on a piece of graph paper, you have a program in there that lets you plot points to create a decorative stitch.
Gotcha.
And there's lots of tutorials for it on the Brother website. There's books that have been written about it. But once you've done that, you can save it. Well, that was another feature they put into the software in version 11, was that I can create a stitch for the sewing machine side of my machine in software.
So that's built into PE Design
and Palette. So for the Palette users or the Baby Lock users that wouldn't have that program built into their machine, they can now do it in software.
So that might make a great Technique
Tuesday. Yeah.
So ideas for Technique Tuesday.
Yeah. I can put that one on there.
Do keep in mind we are slightly shorthanded today and tomorrow. Not a huge deal, and I mean it's funny because I would say to a certain degree we've been in what I call the summer lull. July, for whatever reason, people go on vacation or whatever, tends to be that month that things slow down a little, and that's happened. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So, but if you do call and hit voicemail or something like that, just understand we just don't have as many people here or answering the phones. I talked to Kai about working today, and he's like, "Dad, who's going to watch the dog?"
Oh my God, that's the best excuse ever.
Yeah, I guess so.
He could have brought the dog.
It was so funny.
I always love it when Momo comes.
He's gonna come. He's gonna come this afternoon, I think, with the dog for a couple hours. But he said that to me last night late. We rode mountain bikes last night, and then we got home late, and he said that to me last night. And then this morning I wrote out like a whole list of chores, like, no, you're not gonna sit around playing video games all day. You've got all this stuff you need to get done to help with the household. So to be a teenager. So Shelly, the Presto does not come with a digital dual feed foot, nor is it capable of supporting one. The digital dual feed foot or move it foot, depending upon
Brother
or Baby Lock, is exclusive to like machines like the Crescendo Aria, the 2450,
3050.
the 3050, the 2000, the 3000, the Aerial Journey, 5200, 6200. Not all of those machines automatically came with the foot. For some, that was an upgrade. I would overtly say it is by a long shot the best walking foot in the industry.
Hands down. So the best way to tell is to look at the back of your machine, and if there's a port to plug it in, your machine will generally support it. Yeah?
No, because the earlier machines had the laser spot. The laser guided embroidery foot.
Oh, okay.
So those machines still have the port, but not the
support. Okay.
To support.
Okay.
So it's generally like machines from the last 4 to 6 years that were the 11 3/4 inch throat sewing machines or combination machines. The is the pattern for the Dumbo sewing bag from Sewn Ideas.
Yes, it is.
The quick and fun one.
Mm-hmm. When I actually put the supply list out, there'll be a link on it for that.
Gotcha. And given how quickly, I mean, I think that went live yesterday and it's full, or it went live like a day or two ago and it's full.
I really
Would you
bought.
consider doing a second one?
Yeah. No, I bought plenty of fabric this time. This collection was really very cool because it had like 5 coordinates that went with it. So I bought yardage, the main yardage, and all 5 coordinates. Okay. So I have enough to make multiple kits in multiple different, in both the sewing and in the hoop version. I limit class to 10 so that everybody has a chance to actually. It's hard to keep track of more than that many in class,
right?
Because we have varying skill levels,
right?
So, and then also I pre-record the class by myself before the class, and I stick it in the Facebook group. Because that way, if you're one of those sewers that you really struggle with the class venue, you'd rather like sew one-on-one, like a YouTube video kind of thing. Trust me, it's nothing YouTube quality. I'm no sewing star, but I have figured out how to use the cell phone to kind of record the steps that I take. So that's always in the Facebook group. So, and then hopefully at some point, I mean, I could record the class. Jeannie and I talked about that, to record it so that people could just buy the class later and sell it. But to me, the fun part of the class is the curated fabric. So, and once that's gone, it's gone. It's they're limited runs.
So you've got enough for the sewing session and potentially a second,
and then twice probably on both.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, cool. I just pinged Jeannie to remind her to talk about that.
Okay, perfect. And then again, please, I have no printer. And I ordered a specific printer that prints color images well. It's a printer that was designed especially for a crafter in mind, a photographer, crafter, things like that. So it's not something everybody has in the store. So I won't get that till the 28th. I can't print Dumbo heat transfer vinyl pictures until I get a printer. So I have everything else, but I'll work on. So
we haven't forgotten you. No, you will get your.
You will get a kit if you are signed up for the class and you've paid for the class. There will be a kit available for you. Oh, and the kit prices. When I curate, that kit price comes. You're paying me, not the store. So keep in mind that when you come in, cash is king. I can take Venmo. I'll take a check. If I'm in the store, I have a Square, but you cannot pay for your kit through the main register in the store. That's why it's not listed online, because if you do that, then Jeannie and Patrick have to pay for the surcharge on using a credit card, and that's just not right. So you have to either mail me.
Cash or check is best.
Cash or check is best.
For those of you that know Venmo, PayPal, or something like that.
I don't do PayPal because they can do PayPal through Venmo. If they have a Venmo. In other words, they can set up PayPal. The fees on Venmo are lower than the fees if I take PayPal direct.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then I have Square. If I'm in the store, I have Square. I have my Square with me. So I can run it on Square as well.
Cool.
Good morning, everyone.
So let's talk
deal of the day and giveaway. Yeah.
So deal of the day is up. I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, I mentioned the fact that we had gotten these little serger cabinets and that we would do them as deal of the day. What Jeannie was saying she was upset about yesterday was doing that little film with me. I was like, just film it from there. Just let's get this thing done. And she had a certain way that she wanted to do it, and she won. So
we're getting there, Shirley. Hang tight.
So the So the daily deal is one of two different sized serger cabinets, the 526 or 527 serger cabinet from Unique Sewing.
Those are awesome. They're so
They're
pretty.
super cool.
They're
super
very
cool.
nice. They're very nice
and
quality.
One of the coolest things was seeing that they were, when we were first looking at them, I realized that they're kind of the perfect size also for a sewing machine. Now, the Unique Sewing furniture, what I love about their embroidery tables, and if anybody hasn't seen the sunset gray cabinet set that I have in the store, you really have to come see this.
It's
sunset
so beautiful.
gray.
Gray is becoming so much more popular.
Well, and like they're doing really cool grays too.
Yeah, it's not just like a flat gray. It's really got a lot of character to it.
It's and the way that stain sits on the oak is amazing.
It is. It really is.
If you haven't seen that sunset gray serger cabinet, you should come see it because it is just gorgeous. The only one that I've liked better was one that they did for me in character hickory, which was like crazy. It was but that's also a unique, like people either tend to love or hate that stuff. But the one of the really, really cool things about the serger cabinets and their embroidery cabinets is when you embroider, you are at sewing height. So, we've talked a little bit about Koala's new line and about how Koala's new line comes at one height and it's like 3 inches higher. And so, to address the challenge that people have, and Jeannie's somebody who actually will talk about it. Her neck and her shoulders, when she's been embroidering on her luminaire, the luminaire will sit on top of the artisan cabinet that she has. It's then like 3.5 or 4 inches too high for her, and she's got to put her chair up. But then her feet dangle. And so
it's like a little kid.
And it's funny because since I got this serger cabinet, she's like, ooh, I'm going to take that, like, we kind of got to figure it out. But she's like, I want to take the sunset gray furniture home as long as I can get the serger cabinet in sunset gray. So one of the really cool things about this product is that with the casters, with the table height set, it's at like 29.5 inches high. Even if you're using your serger, or with the embroidery cabinetry, even if you're using your embroidery machine, they're at sewing height. You're not reaching higher on the table to deal with it. They're set up so that it's at a very, very comfortable height. And it doesn't matter if you're, 6'2" or if you're 5 feet tall like Jeannie, that can be addressed by the height of the cabinet. So these serger cabinets, when they came in, they are set up for the large format sergers from Baby Lock. So they're set up for like the Euphoria, the Acclaim, the Ovation, or the Triumph. But when they ship them to us, with two, I call them leveling blocks. And the answer is yes, Cheryl, they would hold a FOF.
Yeah, we found a couple of this machines in the store that would
so they ship with these two different leveling blocks. So it doesn't matter what make or machine you have. Any serger will work with the table. And basically you set the serger in the back corner of the table. It gives you a nice, beautiful, flat surface for your serging or your cover stitch or whatever stitch that you might be doing. And when I opened them to show them to the first customer to whom I sold one, her immediate question was, will my sewing machine fit?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the table going, oh my God, I've got the tailor-made cabinetry, and we get the question a lot of times regarding sewing machines. Do you have sewing furniture for my sewing machine.
Little machines, smaller
Well, not
machines.
even just little machines,
But-
because on the 527 serger cabinet, like a Destiny or a Dream Machine or like one of those machines, or the sewing only version, like the Crescendo, the Aria, the 2450 or the 3050, fit there perfectly.
Oh, good.
And so, and then the smaller serger cabinet will take, once again, any serger, but it will also fit any of the smaller format sewing machines. So like a Soprano or like any of the 9-inch throat sewing machines fit there perfectly. So on that deal of and so Cheryl, your FOF, depending upon the size of your FOF, would fit either that large cabinet, but Unique Sewing Furniture also makes exclusive cabinets specific to FOF, Viking, and Janome.
So they have a choice.
And so they have a choice. So like if you wanted a sewing cabinet specific to FOF, I can actually get you a custom cabinet. But the serger cabinets, and we can look, Cheryl, if you brought your FOF in, we could set it up on one of the serger cabinets to see. But the beautiful thing about the serger cabinet was, I looked at it, and one of the big complaints regarding the Koala serger table was its size.
Yeah.
Like, people go, I love that serger
It's
cabinet,
huge.
but I don't have room for it.
So these would fit for the people that have limited space for their sewing.
I mean,
So,
the
yeah.
527 is a little bit bigger. It's 38 inches. The other one I think is 34 or maybe 32.
So if you have room
Dimensions
for a
are
mat.
listed on the site. There is a detailed video there where I show them with the machines in, with the sewing machines in. Here's what I'll tell you. So I reached out to Pat, the owner of Unique, and I said, listen, Pat, you've got kind of this hidden gold mine here. Because I have people that come in all the time that love the idea of a serger cabinet, but the Koala was too big. So when he originally brought them to me, I mean, these are newer cabinets. He showed them to me. He showed me the pictures of them, and they were just starting to make them. And he goes, but they're smaller. And he gave me the dimensions. I immediately bought 6 of them.
Yeah.
And because I was like, this is perfect. This
It
is
comes
that.
up a lot.
It comes up a lot. And that new Koala serger cabinet is also at like 32 inches. So it's really, really high with the casters to use it with your serger on top. So, we had this whole conversation. I immediately bought 6 of them because for those of you who don't have the space, it's perfect. They're small. The smaller serger cabinet will fit everything from the Triumph on down, as well as a mid-size sewing machine. So, there are multiple uses. It'll fit any make and model, and they really give you the ability to move things around. They're on commercial quality casters. I can pick these things up and move them myself, where you really can't. Yes, it would work for the scan and cut, but I don't know. Like, table height's less important just because of you're not worried about that flat sewing surface.
But we do have a flat surface for that.
Yeah,
So what's
so
cool
is
is they
the
could put
cutout-
all their
the
scan
cutout-
and cut stuff inside
Yeah.
the cabinet.
The
and-
larger cabinet would definitely work. The smaller cabinet might not. I hadn't thought about for scan and cut. So anyways, I reached out to Pat. Yeah, the Koalas are high. And so, and it sounds like, Cheryl, you might, depending upon when you bought your Koala, you might have bought one with a height modification, because they used to make them at 29, 32, and 35 inches. So if it's 36 inches high, like I said, the new cabinets are only coming at one height, and they're high. But they'll make a base for you so that your feet don't dangle if you need to. But it's on the site. So if you go to the Daily Deal, you can see what the serger cabinets look like. There are multiple pictures, and like I said, there is a video there of me kind of doing a walk around on the cabinets.
They're really, really nice.
They're really pretty. I got them all in natural oak, which seems to be universally loved. They will make these things custom, and I've got in part of that video is I kind of show all the various colors, but they make a ton of different colors. You can actually get them in different woods. So you can get them in birch, you can get them in walnut. There's upcharge for the wood, there's upcharge for the stain. I know people are now going to ask, what's the upcharge? And quite frankly, the upcharge for the stains is about 10 to 15%. For the different woods, it can be much more depending upon wood cost. But these things are really, really cool. And Pat is going to make a specific box because I reached out to him and I said, your 2 leveling blocks don't work for the sewing machine. So he and I talked the next morning at like 7 a.m. and he's like, this is what I'm making for you. And he was going to ship it out to me yesterday. So I might not have it until Tuesday, but I will have a box that will, so you could buy it, use it for your serger, and then use it for your other sewing machine because the box will work for any of the Brother or Baby Lock sewing machines because they're all at the same height.
That would be great.
And so, so that is coming, but all that information is covered on the website and then is there. And then, like I said, if you have a custom request or a question about stain or something like that, contact the store because what's on there is the natural oak. It's a great deal. I mean, both cabinets are priced over $2,000. Like the koala right now is I think $1999.99, and then you pay $300 shipping. So they're in that price range, but you can get them right now for $1,300 or $1,500 depending upon the size. So excellent deal on the serger cabinets. And $1,300 is like it's $1299.99 or
well worth taking a look at
$1499.99.
if you've been looking for furniture, especially to fit a smaller machine. It's well worth looking at.
Well, and I have them here in the store.
Yeah, that's good.
So they are here.
Oh, and didn't you tell me you could fit one? You fit one in the Mini Cooper last week.
I put one in a Mini Cooper, like so literally lifted it myself.
Lifted it up and put it in a Mini Cooper. So getting it in your car is likely not going.
Yeah, it's as long as you've got back seats to fold down, I think I can get it into your vehicle. But they're absolutely gorgeous. And so excellent deal, great product. I get that question all the time regarding, do we have those smaller serger cabinets? And like I said, the smaller cabinets from TaylorMade are great. They're at a great price point. I think for their price point, they're very high quality. And these are in that price point, that like $1,000 to $1,500 price point. But when you open the TaylorMade cabinets, all of a sudden they go from very small to very big. So you've got to have space.
You still have to have the space to utilize it.
You just fold them down and they kind of hide really well. But these are totally different deal. They're very small. They're easy to maneuver. And the biggest thing for me is just that height. So so let's talk giveaway.
Ooh.
So today's giveaway is going to be our favorite little vacuum for your sewing machine. We always recommend using these to clean your sewing machines. As Jeannie would say, suck, don't blow. You don't want to blow like people use canned air.
Yeah, that's
and then
not
we
good.
see a sweater living in like the back corner of the machine. Or we'll end up seeing debris all over the exhaust fan that are in your machines to blow hot air out of the machine. So with these, they come with a little toolkit. You can use that. What's that?
I even like that one.
Oh, you do?
I do. I like that one.
You're not a vacuum lover.
I hate vacuums.
Yeah.
Vacuums on me are not friends. Not at all.
So
but this one's great.
These are awesome. They do come with a little toolkit that's great for cleaning your sewing machine. Normal retail on these is $60. I think they're $59.99 right now. I actually we've had daily deals where we've sold these for $39.99. So for those of you who don't win, if you want to see this as a daily deal, leave that in the comments. We'll look at that too. And so I have two questions. One for kind of our sewists, and then one that's specific to our long armors. So when Jeannie and I were talking questions for the daily deal yesterday,
for the giveaway, yes.
Yeah. She's like, I have a question, but it only pertains to, a small percentage of our market, and that is for our long armors. So basically, we're going to give everybody the opportunity to answer a question. But specific to our long arm gals, Jeannie actually was commenting on the fact that a lot of people have been coming in and asking if we carry pre-wound bobbins for the long arm, the M-class pre-wound bobbins for the long arm. So Jeannie's question was, how many people want pre-wound glide bobbins for your long arms, the M-class pre-wound glide bobbins? And if it's not the glide bobbins that you'd be interested in for your bobbins, is there specific pre-wound M-class bobbins that you'd be looking for your long arms?
Would color be an issue too? What color would be, or would that be multiple colors?
Yeah, I mean, you can answer regarding color as well. I'm assuming if we did it, we'd probably carry white and black, and then we could order, I don't know, quite frankly, just Jeannie would be the better person to ask if they're going to have like a gross of pre-wound M-class bobbins in specific colors other than white or black. We did carry those pre-wounds of like all colors.
Yeah, those were cool.
For the M and the class 15, and they all sold out,
Yeah,
and then we couldn't get them again. Those were the Deco Bob.
Deco's Choice or something.
Yeah, they were the Deco Bob.
That was really great, because how often do you really need a pre-wound bobbin, a whole tube of an odd color?
Right,
It's
right.
nice
But that
to
was
have,
like, what,
every
50 colors?
Yeah, every color.
So then the other question for just our sewists, or those of us who have sewing machines, and Jeannie's like, you've got to share this anecdote, and I'm not going to do as good of a job as Jeannie, but like, so Jeannie has been lusting over a pair of pants for a long time. And she's like, it was funny because when I talked to her this morning, she's like, oh my God, she's like, I looked this morning, it's a $200 pair of pants. And so she's like, I looked this morning because they announced that they were on sale and they were only $178, but they're still $178.
That's not on sale. Yeah.
And so then she was like, but I found the pattern for the pants and it's $10.
Yeah.
So Jeannie's comment was, sewing is falling out of fashion. And whenever we ask questions about the sewing, people often say, I haven't really done it because it's like often cheaper to buy clothes than it is to make them now. And so for our sewers and sergers, who's interested in making clothing? And if you're interested, what kind of clothing are you interested in making? Baby clothing, women's knitwear, pajama pants. I mean, these are some of the clothing-based classes that we've done. But Jeannie's kind of gone,
T-shirts.
Geez, stuff has gotten more expensive in the last 7 or 8 months. And now it's almost cheaper to make stuff than it is to sew it. So for those of you who are interested in sewing or would like to take a class regarding sewing,
yes, tell us what you'd like to see.
What would you like to see?
Be specific.
So,
please.
With that in mind, cover the rules of the giveaway. So every Friday, A1 gives something away. Would have shirts and something. Pajamas, maybe?
I don't
PJs? Know. That's for Carolyn on YouTube. So the rules of the giveaway for those of you who've watched, and it's funny, like, I think now that I've been commenting more on liking and subscribing, for our YouTube watchers, take a moment to like our page. You'll get notifications when we do these videos. We do these giveaways every Friday. Mm-hmm. The way the giveaway works is normally on Tuesday, sometimes on Wednesday.
Like sometimes on Thursday.
Normally on Tuesday. We like to leave it up for the weekend because it essentially gives us the entire weekend for people to comment. And we end up with a lot more comments than the people who watch live. But we do these giveaways every Friday. We use a random comment picker on Facebook. A1 makes a comment. I'll make that comment now. And if the A1 comment is chosen, then we go to our comments on YouTube. But in order to win the giveaway, the comment picker has to answer the question that the comment has chosen. So sometimes the comment picker grabs a comment and it's like, hey,
hello,
or hello.
That
comment doesn't count. It's got to choose the comment made that answers the question. But if you take the time to answer that question, you have an opportunity to win something. If you're local, you can just come and pick it up at no charge. If you're distant, we'll reach out to you and all you would pay is the actual shipping. But if you do watch on YouTube, take a time to subscribe to the channel. You get notifications. If you like the video, it tells us whether you like it. We can use that information to help us figure out what you like and what you don't like. And then make your comment. We'll leave that up over the weekend and we'll choose the winner on Tuesday and let you know if you've won that great little vacuum. And then also, this is not the question, but for those of you who'd like the opportunity to get the vacuum at a daily deal, like every time I run the daily deal, I make it $20 or $30 off. I think the last time we did them for $39. So if you didn't win the vacuum, let me know if you'd like to see that. We can make that a daily deal again. Not interested in clothing patterns or sewing clothing, knit tops and leisure pants.
So go up a minute, a little bit. Okay, Diane McCormick, we would not be bringing in specific fabric for this. This would not be a kit kind of thing. So, although children's elastic weight short is we could, but what superhero? I mean, there's a lot of them. So,
well, it's like kind of like underoos, right?
Yeah.
Like you've got like Superman fabric, and you make them out of Superman fabric or something. So men and women's shorts. You know what's crazy is, like, I joked with Jeannie the other day that she's gonna have to start sewing shorts, because I got over 15 years. I got used to wearing shorts that like come
hit
down to the knee.
Yeah, they don't
and
make
now shorts, all of them come here. And the new shorts are even crazier. They're like 70s runner shorts. They're like halfway up the leg.
This is why John doesn't wear shorts anymore, because he can't find them long enough.
My son will literally, like, my son is very picky, and so we bought him shorts. Like a year and a half ago, I bought him like 3 or 4 pairs of shorts, and they all came down to the knee. And then Kai grew 7 inches, literally.
So now they don't come down to the knee anymore.
In like 9 months. So now those shorts are all like a couple inches above the knee. And so he was like, I need new shorts. So I took him to buy shorts. And I think we tried on, and he'll also only wear athletic stuff like basketball shorts and stuff like that. Even basketball shorts are like 3 or 4 inches above the knee now. And so
where do the basketball players get their shorts? They're like 7 feet tall.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's the craziest thing. Like, I took him and so he didn't buy a single pair of shorts. And then since I found 2 pairs of shorts, and I was like, Jeannie, you're going to have to, it's an apple.
Oh, okay. I'm going,
She's trying to touch
I'm trying
the
to touch screen and it's not.
So anyways, I joke with Jeannie. I was like, you're going to have to learn how to sew shorts, because that, like, some of my older shorts are also starting to fall apart, like my favorite shorts. And then one of our friends is a fabricator. Like, she works for Spider now, but she worked for the North Face forever, and she worked for Sundance for a while. But she's one of those people that creates the pattern that she teaches the factory how to sew it. And so when she was here, I was wearing a pair of these cotton shorts from Nerona. These are Neronas too, but the cotton shorts went down over my knee, and she's like, "Oh my God, those things are gold! Like nobody's making shorts like that anymore." Her husband's the CEO of Nerona USA, and I was like, I keep telling him if they made a short,
If you make it, they will come.
if you made a short that was that long, you'd like corner the market,
Yeah.
like because you can't get the pants at that length anymore, and she was funny because she was like, well, when those are done, I want you to send them to me because I'm going to deconstruct them and create
a pattern. Yeah.
and then we're going to create the short, like, because they were great shorts. I was wearing them yesterday. So actually I was wearing these yesterday, but the other shorts I wore the day before. So anyways, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Be inspired.
Make something
Make
awesome,
something awesome.
as Jeannie would say, and we're off to the races.
Alrighty.
We will see you guys next Tuesday.
Goodbye, everyone.
If you have questions or comments or interest in anything regarding those serger cabinets, reach out to the store. And like I said, if for any of you who haven't seen that sunset gray cabinet set, you should see that sunset gray cabinet set.
Yeah, it is really pretty.
All right, guys.
Bye.